What it do, YouTube? It's SS, and I'm back with another video on this one right here. This one right here. Well, let me tell you about this one. We finally hit Legend after pushing for so many days. Well, I mean, technically, it was like 5 days that pushed for Legend, but finally, we hit it on stream last night. As you guys can see, it is 12 a.m. at night. I did stream it on Twitch. Link in the description. As always, if you do want to go follow me on Twitch to watch them happen in real time as they do happen. But yeah, we hit legend. You guys are about to see used the same team from the 2300s all the way to legend. Same team, didn't change anything at all. It's been the same team. I've showed probably four. This is probably like the fourth, fifth video of this team. Since Greatly Remix has dropped. But yeah, I have three sets for you. It's a little bit of a longer video. Reason is being is because it did take me it took me 4 sets to hit legend. I do believe I went like I don't know if it was 1-4-2-3, and then I went 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, and then I went 3-2. So we had pretty much all positive sets except for the first one. But yeah, without further ado, you guys could comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. I see that we're up to 115 subscribers. So that is super, super cool. If you guys can keep subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely will be continuing pumping out content. So if you guys do like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. As we do get into the commentary now. And I do live on 1 HP as the Jellison. We're gonna be able to get the surf off, being up to KO, and we're gonna be able to take that first game. I think it was the first game. As we do hop into the next battle, we're gonna see Empoleon up against the Gligar, and this is actually really bad for the Gligar because we do get outpaced severely. You would have to bait, but then again, they do win the CMP tie, the cap tie, the bat tie. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pause for a second, make sure that their move does go through, the fast move does go through. It does, and they actually end up letting it go through. So I'm gonna go straight for the dig here, expecting them not to shield. But if they do shield, it's fine with me. But they actually don't shield, and this is actually looking okay for me now. I am gonna go ahead and let this go through. I'm gonna come into my Toxapex, start jabbing this down. We are gonna get hit with a move here, but I probably should have tried to catch it because as we're gonna see here, it's gonna be the return. So if I would have caught it on my Jellicent, it would have been super, super good for me, but unfortunately for me, we didn't. And they are going to go ahead and shield the Brine here, which is good for me. Now I'm going to switch out into my Jellicent. Jellicent's going to get hit with a move. I'm going to go ahead and let it go through. Shadow Ball, we still going to be able to live it, which we are. And now I am at the surf here. And at this point, I'm going to try to make it to another surf. Looks like if I shield, I can probably potentially make it to a surf here. So I am going to go shield. We're at the surf, so I do make it to the surf. Surf is going to come out. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to KO, and now I do believe the Shadow Ball is going to be enough to KO if they are at the Shadow Ball. But lucky for me, they throw the Night Slash, and I pause once again, making sure that their fast move does come through, so that way they don't catch on the Sableye. And one more Poison Jab is going to be enough to KO the Sableye, and we're going to be able to take that next game as we do hop into the next game. We're going to see Goodra up against our Gligar, and this is actually not good for the Gligar, but unfortunate for the Goodra, they threw on bad timing on alignment, which gave us a free fast move 9. We're gonna go for the dig, expecting them not to shield at all, and they don't shield. 1, 2 more wing attacks is gonna be enough to KO, so we do end up winning lead, but a cost of a shield. Now they come into a slow bro, Galarian slow bro. I do just go straight for the nuke here, expecting them not to shield, but they did shield. I'm gonna go straight for the nuke again. I do make it. I do believe I paused once again, making sure that they did not catch. And now they are gonna swap out into a Tentacruel. We're gonna throw on bad timing here and just gonna go straight for the Shadow Ball. And now I'm gonna switch out into my Toxapex. And at this point, I do believe that the opponent realizes the game's over and they're gonna top left. We're gonna be able to take that game. As we do hop into the next battle, we're gonna see Gligar up against Gligar, and this is a mirror match I don't really like because a lot of times my Gligar does end up losing CMP. Reason being it's with the zero attack, but it is very high level. It's like a 35.5 level Gligar. As you guys can see, we do end up losing CMP, so I'm gonna throw up my shield here. Aerial Ace is gonna get shielded. Gonna throw the Aerial Ace. I thought about undercharging it, but the reason I did not undercharge it was because I did not want them to swap out potentially and keep the Gligar alive. So I just went for the sure kill KO, and then I am gonna do switch into my Toxapex, and we're gonna get met with a Jellicent, and this is horrible. I need to keep the Toxapex on the Sable Iron, but if I swap out into my Jellicent, we're just gonna get hit with a Shadow Ball. So, unfortunate for me, I cannot switch out, and we're gonna end up losing this game. We're super hard walled here. They do end up shielding the Sludge Wave. Unfortunate for me, and now the Shadow Ball is gonna be enough to KO. Gonna come into my own, and since we're running Bubble, the fast move is not doing any fast move pressure, and now they are going to swap out into Sable. I'm just going to go ahead and let this go through. No point in me shielding. This game is pretty much over. I mean, it's been over, right? As we do hop into the next battle, we're going to see Steelix up against the Gligar, and they swapped out instantly, so that I didn't really think about it as I was doing the battle. But now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense why they swapped out. You guys will see a little bit later on why they did swap out. Doing those shielding the Stone Edge here correctly. I'm gonna go straight for the Shadow Ball. Don't expect them to shield. They don't shield. And now I'm gonna farm up a little bit extra energy here. They do throw in bad timing, giving me a free fast move, which is really good for me. Just gonna go ahead and try to get this thing out the way. So I'm gonna go straight for the surf. It's gonna be enough to KO. They come back into the Steelix. Steelix is gonna get hit with a surf here, and this is looking really bad for me because it's a Thunder Fang um Steelix. But lucky for me, Jellicent, my Jellicent is a rank one Jellicent. Rank one Jellicent, able to make it to the surf, and now I come into my Gligar as they come into a Manibuzz, and the Manibuzz is just gonna get chipped, 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 and chipped. So at this point, I am just gonna go ahead and sack my Gligar. I know it's a Shadow Shiny. I'm sorry, 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 but I had to go ahead and let it go down in order for my Toxapex to close out the game here. And now they are gonna be able to throw a move here. I'm thinking it's gonna be the Aerial Ace. Nope, not the Aerial Ace. And since I don't expect myself to live that Snarl there, I just go ahead and throw immediately, which I don't end up living. So if I would have threw a fast move, then throw through the charge move, I would have died with the move. And now they do end up dark posting me, which is fine with me. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go through. Doesn't really matter because I do have a shield. And now we're just gonna be able to poison jab down completely, and we're gonna be able to take that game as we do get a 4-1 in this first set. So once again, these battles were done on Twitch. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch, happen watch them happen in real time. Link in the description. As we do see a superior up against our Gligar, and they do end up swapping out into the Dewgong. And now we already know this team. And I go into my Toxapex, and I'm saving my Jellicent because Jellicent is just way better up against the Carbink in the back. So we're gonna see, is this the team with the Carbink, and if it is, then we should maybe win. As we do go for the Sludge Wave here, as you guys can see, Drill Run does do some damage, but Toxapex is so tanky, it's going to be able to live it. And I'm not going to bait here because there's no reason for me to bait here. So we're going to see, does it go through? It goes through, and now they are on 1 HP. And they swap out into the Carbink. Carbink is going to be met with my Jellicent. Jellicent's just going to be able to throw out these surfs. Bubbles are adding up, as you guys can see. Look at that. Look at that. This is why we run Bubble instead of Hex, because Hex cannot hit anything in this league for super effective, except for the, I guess, the Annihilate. But other than that, you're better off with Bubble. You're just better off with Bubble. And yeah, they're just gonna go ahead and top left as they do end up losing with 2 shields. And we're gonna hop into the next battle. We're gonna see Guzzlord up against the Gligar, and this is actually really bad for the Gligar. And I need to stay in because, well, it's not bad for the Gligar, but it's not particularly good either. Um, I do end up shielding Dragon Claw. I was hoping they would go for the bigger move, the Brutal Swing or the Crunch, but unfortunately they do not. So I'm gonna go straight for the dig again. They do end up shielding, so they're down 2 shields. They're at 2 moves. I could shield this, but if I shield, what is gonna happen is that they're just gonna go ahead and end up throwing right away, and I won't be able to make it to my dig. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go through. They throw the Brutal Swing. They're gonna be able to make it to another one. Very unfortunate. And now I am gonna try to swap out, try to make it to a farm down here, but unfortunate for me, we're gonna get hit with a brutal swing. And now they coming to for alligator, and this game's pretty much over at this point because I'm just going to be able to get farmed down. Don't even throw a move. Oh, I'd shield just to shield, but I probably should have just let it go through. I think I shielded just to see. Oh, excuse me. Oh man, yawning. Just to see what was in the back, and it's Jellicent. Jellicent. So we were gonna unfortunately end up losing regardless. Kind of looks snipish, but whatever. Not gonna dwell on it too much. As we do see Giratina up against the Gligar, and this is actually not very good for the Gligar. I don't really like this matchup, so we're gonna see what it does here, and I'm gonna farm up to 2 aerial aces, expecting them to think I'm gonna go for the aerial ace, so I go for the dig. Almost KOs. One more wing attack and gonna be enough to KO. They come into an Empoleon, and at this point, I am gonna go straight for the dig here. They do end up shielding. Now I'm gonna try to catch. No, I don't try to catch. I just go for the CMP tie here. And this time I am just gonna go ahead and let it go through. Coming to Jellicent. They come into a Magnezone. This is not looking really good for me. I'm gonna go straight for the bait here, expecting them to probably potentially shield, and they do end up shielding. Now I am gonna make it to my move here. I'm gonna go ahead and shield. They do throw the wild charge. Wild charge is going to be enough to KO here. Nope, they throw the wild mirror shot, not the wild charge. We'll do one more and then throw. And then I saved a surf. I saved the surf, caught the move, drill peck, and now I am gonna be able to try to make it to multiple moves here, multiple brimes up against this Empoleon. As you guys can see, we're gonna need like 3 brines just to KO this Empoleon. But if I can make it low enough and hopefully they don't make it out with a move, we're gonna be able to win this game as we do end up. I'm over farming. I want them to throw their energy here, and then they undercharge it. They fully no bubble it, just trying to get more energy. And because they did that, I'm able to make it to the brine. And this is going to be enough to KO. We're going to be able to take that game. As we do hop into the next battle, we're going to see Gligar up against Gligar and 2 shiny Gligars. But guess what? Mine is Shadow. So mine's better. Uh, we're gonna see though, as they do end up throwing their move on 6 right before I make it to the dig. I'm gonna make sure to pause. I probably didn't pause that time, didn't expect them to swap. I do go for the extra there, and I'm gonna shield. The reason I'm gonna shield is because it's a normal one, so I'm actually able to live these wing attacks a lot better than Shadow on Shadow. So I do expect them. I go back to back moves. I do expect them to throw right away since they did win CMP, and they do end up throwing right away. I catch the move, and now they bring in their jealous. I'm gonna go straight for the shadow ball. Don't expect them to shield because they're down shield already, and they don't shield, which is fine with me. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. If they shadow ball me, that's fine with me. And now I'm gonna come into my talk specs. Tank every single move here. I can tank everything easily. As you guys see, Shadow Ball does not even do half. Now I'm going to try to go straight for the farm down. We get the farm down completely, which is really good for me. They come into a Poliwrath, and this is actually looking really good for me. I'm going to go straight for the Sludge Wave. And now they don't shield, which is really good, which is actually kind of awkward and weird. But they know I have an aerial ace on my Gligar, and they swap out into their own Gligar. Just gonna go ahead and throw the move here, get it out of the way. They do not shield. Now at this point, I can just go straight into my Gligar and wing attack all the way completely down, and we're gonna be able to take that game. As we do hop into the next battle, we see Shadow on Shadow Gligar, and this is where I do play it a little bit differently. They throw right away, expecting me to throw right away 2, but I don't. Build up to 2. This time I do end up pausing, making sure that they do not try to catch, and they do not try to catch. So I am going to switch out into my Jellicent, catch the move, and we do get a bubble through, which is really good for me. They're going to come into their own Jellicent, and since I am the rank 1 Jellicent, we are always going to lose CMP tie, cap tie, bap tie. So I am gonna shield this, hoping it's not a surf and it's a shadow ball, which is really good for me. Just gonna under tap. Don't want to do another one and then throw. Could be the CMP tie, the bap tie, the cap tie, and I don't want to do that. I do choose to let this go through. I do believe, yeah. just because I wasn't counting energy and I don't know where they were at. I'm gonna throw right here on very bad timing, but since it was since we threw on bad timing, it was actually CMP tie, and now I am gonna go ahead and let this go through. No, we're gonna shield. We're gonna shield. And now they are gonna come into the Gligar. Gligar is gonna get farmed down completely. And now is it Poliwrath in the back? It's Poliwrath in the back, and Poliwrath it's just going to get hit with the Toxapex. And we're gonna be able to take that game as we do hop into the next battle. We're gonna see. Oh wait, never mind. That was the last battle of that set. We do have one more set, so we're just gonna go ahead and take my time here. I do believe I was doing predictions on Twitch, to see if we do hit it or not. So I am gonna take my time here. Once again, if you guys have made it this far, like, comment, subscribe the video, all that good jazz. Support the channel, as like 96% of you guys are actually not subscribed to the channel. So it would really help out to grow the channel. And if you could give me a follow on Twitch, as I am waiting for the people on Twitch here. And I know I think it was an ad. I think I had an ad going on at that moment and I didn't realize it, so I couldn't snooze it. Uh, so we're just gonna take our time. We're gonna keep talking here, and we're gonna see Shirley any second now. Here, I do claim it. But yeah, these battles were done last night. Um, I will be streaming at 12 p.m. Central. So once this video gets done, it's uploaded. If you watch it, I'll probably be streaming at that time. Um gonna try to make some more YouTube content just for you guys, trying to pump out this content for you guys. Which is really kind of weird because since I started making YouTube videos, I hit legend, and the last season I didn't make videos. I didn't make any YouTube videos last season, and didn't even hit it. So in this season, I started making YouTube videos again, and I hit it this season. So I think I have to keep making YouTube videos as we do make it to 30, 24, get the pose, and we are gonna hop into our Libre set here. And we do see a very good lead. They swap out into Namoga. I don't have a very good answer to this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stay in. Aerial Ace is gonna come through. I'm gonna go straight for the dig. It's gonna do a little bit more damage, but I probably should have just went straight Aerial Ace, to be honest. They are gonna go ahead and shield, which is kind of weird. I'm gonna go ahead and shield as well. And now it's gonna be another Aerial Ace. Gonna under tap, throw the dig here, and this is where I kind of realized I probably should have just went double Aerial Ace. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through because I can farm down. Oh no, I make it to another move here, which is really good for me. Now they do end up shielding, so they're down 2 shields. I'm gonna come into my Toxapex since my Toxapex can live the discharge a little bit better. But I probably should have went into Jellicent, to be honest. Nah, maybe not. They do come into the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn's gonna get hit with a Sludge Wave here. Ferrothorn in the back is kind of bad for me, unless I can lure it out. And now they are gonna go ahead and hit me with a Thunder, which is not good for me. They are gonna make it to another move here, which is not good for me. So I am gonna have to shield up. They swap out into the Golisopod. Golisopod is gonna be able to do super effective with the Shadow Claws, and this is not looking good for the Justin, to be honest. And they are gonna throw their move here. See what move they are running. They throw the Aerial Ace, doesn't do too much damage, but they are going to outpace me. So this next Aerial Ace is going to bring me down to red. 2 more Shadow Claws or 1 more Shadow Claw. 1 Shadow Claw. That was 1 Shadow Claw. So I think 2 Shadow Clones would have KO'd, and unfortunately 1 more. Bullet Sea is going to be able to take us out, and we're going to end up losing that first game. As we do hop into the next battle, we're going to see Carbink up against our Gligar, and I don't really like this lead because I feel like Carbink could actually end up winning this a little bit better than the Gligar. But lucky for me, they actually end up leaving. They swap out their Carbink. They do have energy on the Carbink. They swap out into a Tropius, and at this point, I'm expecting it to be um, double Razor Leafer, Carbink, double Razor Leafer. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go. No, they actually try to farm me down completely. And now I do make it to the dig. The dig is gonna go through, which is really good for my Jellicent here. And now they are gonna swap out into a victory belt, and I'm gonna go into my Toxapex here. I'm gonna go ahead and bait, expecting them to actually shield here because Carbink's not really gonna be able to do anything, and I know they want that fast move pressure, so they are going to go ahead and shield. I'm gonna make it to the brine here. This is gonna be enough to KO. They're gonna be able to farm me down completely, but that is fine with me. I'm just gonna go ahead and shield here. I'm at the surf here, and now I can just oh I was gonna go for the surf, but I don't go for the surf. I go for the shadow ball, but they end up top left, and we're gonna be able to take that game as we do hop into the next battle. We're gonna see Mandy Buzz up against the Gligar, and this is a matchup where I actually think it's pretty close, right? It's pretty close. If you invest shields, it's pretty close. So it's not actually too bad for the Gligar. But you guys will see here. You guys will see. Dark Pulse does do a little bit more damage, but we do outpace the Mandibus to these aerial aces a lot faster than they do make it to the Dark Pulse. And now I am gonna go ahead and throw my shield up here. As you guys see, they're actually a little bit lower than I am. I'm gonna do one and throw the aerial ace for good timing, and then they do end up shielding. Gonna try to catch here, but I don't successfully catch. And but they still end up throwing their own energy. They are gonna switch out into Annihilate, which is fine with me. Gonna make it to a Brine here. Shadow Ball is not gonna be enough to KO, so I should be able to make it to another Brine here. I don't think this is it's KOs. They are gonna be able to farm me down though, which is kind of bad for me, but since this brine is gonna go through, the damage just already added up, and I was thinking about going into my Jellicent, expecting them to go for the Night Slash, but I go for Gligar, expecting them to go for the Shadow Ball, and they do go for the Shadow Ball, so really good for me. But unfortunately for me, there's a for Alligator in the back, and for Alligator up a shield is just gonna end up winning this. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go because they outpaced me severely. So no reason for me shielding because they're just gonna make it to another one. And now I'm so far low that Mandy Buzz is going to be able to farm me down. We're gonna end up losing that game as we do hop into the next battle. We're gonna see Sable. I saw so many Sable eyes last night, and I was like, why? Why? Who's running Sable Eye? There's so many charmers out here, and you guys are running Sable Eye. But either way, I think it was a shadow say why, so I'm just gonna go straight for the dig here. It's gonna be enough to KO. We're down shield. They come into Empoleon at this point. I'm expecting it to be like Ligar in the back. So I do go for the dig, switch out into my Toxapex. They swap out into a Magneton, and I'm like, what? Okay, say why double steal. Okay, makes sense. But they do end up shielding the Brine. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go through at this point. And now I'm gonna come into my Gligar and try to make it to a move. I don't make it to the move. Gonna have to shield this up. Hoping that they're not at a move, they don't try to catch. And I paused there for a second, trying to make sure that they do throw their animation, and they do end up throwing their animation, which is really good for me. I guess they didn't want to catch on the Empoleon, which kind of makes sense. Now I am gonna be able to make it to the Shadow Ball, KO the Empoleon, and now we just need one more win to get our Pico Libre. So let's see. We got two more games here. Man, Mad Metal up against our Gligar. They are gonna switch out. I'm gonna throw the aerial ace at this Gligar. Switch out into my Jellicent. At this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go through. Keep the shields for my Gligar. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing out the way immediately because if not, then they're gonna be able to throw another move. And I don't want them to throw another move. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get them out the way. They're gonna come into a Cresselia, which is fine with me. They're gonna outpace me, but I could have CMP'd them on the surf. But I don't really do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go through. Now I am gonna come into my Toxapex at this point, expecting them to not have what's it called? Not have future sight, and it kind of looks like they don't have future sight. I am gonna go ahead and let this go through. Rock Slide's gonna do reasonable amount of damage. So gonna go straight for the dig here. Don't expect them to shield, to be honest. Keeping it for the Cresselia. And they do the same thing that I just said. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this. And then do one and then throw the aerial ace. And this looks like it's the cap tie, the bap tie, and we're gonna be able to actually get the cap tie, the bap tie. we are gonna go ahead and let this go through, and we're just gonna go straight for the sludge wave here, not expecting them to shield. They don't shield, which is fine with me. Just gonna keep farming up a little bit extra energy here. Now I am gonna be able to shield this potential creature side, but they're running Moonblast and they get the debuff. But the debuff doesn't matter because they're gonna get farmed down. We're gonna be able to take that last game and to claim our Pico Libre. As I do take my time because I am doing a poll: is it gonna be shiny on Twitch or not? People do that on Twitch. I just it was my first time actually streaming on Twitch, hitting legend. So every time I hit legend, I do it off stream. So this time I did do it on stream and we're taking our sweet time. So hope you guys liked the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. As I do wait to claim this Pico Libre. It's gonna be a while for me until I do get ready to stream, just because I do have to make the thumbnail and upload the video and all that stuff. I probably should have did this a lot earlier. Um, Now it's getting a little bit late for me. As I do wait, and I probably should have just cut this up a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, you guys can skip through it if you like, right? You guys can skip through a couple of seconds just to get the see the Pico Libre and all that good stuff. Still waiting, still waiting, still waiting. But yeah, link in the description to Twitch if you do want to follow me. Watch these battles happen in real time as they do happen. And there it is. It is not shiny. Unfortunate for me, it was not shiny. This is my fourth one, but my third one actually hitting legend. I do believe one of them was from the interlude season. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. If you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I know I said that like 4 times in the video, but can't say it enough. I appreciate you guys. Uh, and I will see you guys on the next video as we do hit 3042.